This is the breakdown for Javid Basharat versus Oron Kahlon in the lightweight or bantamweight division. So, Tapology typically has most of their stuff updated, but sometimes they have like maybe hype messed up. But in this instance, it seems like this bout is scheduled to be at lightweight. And if you go over to Javid Basharat's Instagram, he has like a poster where it has his fight, right? It shows like the date and White's Contender series, and then it says bantamweight. And I feel like that changes the dynamic of this fight quite a bit, rather what weight class it's at. We dive into it. We have two undefeated fighters. You have Javid Basharat 10-0, Oron Kahlon coming in at 16-0. Both guys well-rounded. Both guys have dangerous skill sets everywhere. Obviously, Javid Basharat immediately 14 years younger. You notice that. So, yeah, the reason that I think the weight class has a big difference here is I think Oron Kahlon at 40 years old has a capoeira background. I think capoeira instructor is the same instructor for Conor McGregor. You know, Conor McGregor used to have those flashy kicks. He would always throw those flashy kicks. Kahlon learned capoeira through the same instructor, and I don't know if he's going to be able to do that here at 40 years old, especially if this is at bantamweight, because at bantamweight speed is a very big advantage, and if you don't have speed at bantamweight, then it can catch up to you quite a bit, and it might, sting you in the back, especially when you have Basharat, who's very light on his feet, in and out. I like his head movement. His footwork is very slick. One thing that worries me is that he doesn't really keep a high guard because of how slick he is. He likes to slip, move out the way, counter. He has a lot of power at bantamweight. And it worries me because if they're fighting at lightweight, Oron only fought at lightweight. I think maybe fought once at featherweight. And that's big difference in weight class, man. The power, the wrestling, it's going to be different to deal with if this is at lightweight for Javid Basharat. He is the younger fighter, so I feel like in terms of agility, speed, he's definitely going to have the edge here. But Oron Kahlon is no pushover. If you go on YouTube, you see a video from 10 years ago of him at Extreme Couture. Old ass video. If you want to check out that video, it's a weird video. But you see him at Extreme Couture. Oron Kahlon has always been training in martial arts since he was young. His father, I believe, was like in the military, so he had grown-up discipline. And yeah, he's one of the OGs, I would say. He had his debut in 2005. He's definitely one of the OGs in the sport. It's just, I think Javid Basharat right now is a little bit better just because he's 40 years old, and you just really can't choose a 40-year-old rationally, especially because he's going to be 41 in 3 months. You can't choose him rationally, even though he's undefeated. He's facing the best competition he can face. He's not facing the worst competition, but I'm going to go with the fighter that can still produce sperm, right? So I'm going to go with Javid Basharat. I think the movement is going to be too much at this point in Oron Kahlon's career, especially since he's coming off a 2-year layoff. The dude hasn't fought since 2019. Javid Basharat fought twice. I think Oron Kahlon is going to want to take this to the ground because Oron Kahlon has a good judo and wrestling background, also pretty good in boxing. Like I said, both these guys well-rounded everywhere. I just think Oron Kahlon, if he wants to have success, he's going to have to get Javid Basharat to the ground because Basharat has been taken to the ground before, but he's got very good scrambles and he's got good submission defense. Almost got caught on a knee bar. He's got great submissions on his record himself, heel hooks, dars. So I just think Javid Basharat's a little bit better at this point in Oron's career. Like, I don't doubt Oron was good at some point. I think he fought once in Bellator. I think Oron's good, but at this point, I'm just going to take the younger guy. If this is at bantamweight, I'm going to have even more trust in Javid Basharat getting this done by finish. But if this is at lightweight, I'm going to be concerned with that wrestling and judo of Oron Basharat because I think he'll be able to nullify Javid on the ground, especially with the experience he has. Like, this guy's got some crazy experience. He likes movement in fights, so this is going to be a very technical fight. It's going to be good. Someone's going to get finished here. Both these guys got all finishes on the record. So if you're not confident with either of these guys in your pick, just go with doesn't go the distance. But yeah, I got Javid Basharat. I like the striking that he has. I think he's better everywhere. I think he's good enough at this point in Oron's career to be able to defend the takedowns and be able to be a better striker because I like his movement. He's very light on his feet. He's more powerful than Oron. Oron got clipped really bad in one of his fights. You can only see like 2 of Oron's fights on YouTube, by the way, from like 12 years ago. So if you want to gauge this fight, if I lose this fight and Oron wins, you can't shit on me, but like, how am I going to be able to gauge this fight when all the footage you have is like from 12 years ago? So And obviously Basharat is no pushover. I think Basharat is really good. I think he's ready for the UFC. It's just a very tricky matchup because it's hard to gauge when Oron's coming off a 2-year layoff and he's undefeated, obviously. So we don't know how things will go, but I think I'm confident in Javid Basharat getting this done in the late second or third round. I think he's going to finish him by KO. I think Javid has great power, and he's going to be able to nullify the takedowns and the jiu-jitsu in Oron, in my opinion. I'm going to do a weigh-in recap with the full card, and that's where I'm going to really break this down a little bit more because the lightweight and bantamweight schedulings are confusing me a lot, and the fights can go different ways at that point because Oron is a natural lightweight, Javid is a normal bantamweight, so it could be tricky in terms of what's going to go on. Like Javid's power probably won't carry to lightweight from bantamweight, so we'll see how this goes. But for right now, I have Javid Basharat. I think he gets it done in the second, third round by KO. I think his striking's too much. His movement's too much, especially for a 40-year-old. And yeah, you just can't pick him rationally. You really can't. Like, you really can't. He's 40, almost 41 years old. Like, Javid Basharat's been training MMA since he was like 13. He's been wanting to do this. The momentum's good. He's been active. I'll take Javid Basharat late second round KO. Peace.